Hello everyone and welcome to part 4 of the Sonic 3D Blast playthrough. It's time for Diamond Dust Zone, which is my favorite zone in the game. And I know it's a snow level, so of course it would be my favorite level in the game. You got plenty of good things here. You got your slip sliding around, you got your snow waterfall back there, you've got exploding snowman robots. You've got it all here. And if I'm not mistaken, I should be getting that damn 7th Chaos Emerald really soon. I just need to get enough rings together first. And hopefully not hit anything or do anything stupid on the way over. So I think I will make that the goal first, is to go after that last Emerald dude. As I see Knuckles off on the other end of that snowfall. Oh yeah, that's right, the extra life jingle is from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. As I have noticed, there's plenty of sound effects and things that get reused from that game here. Nice. I had the nice number of rings. But alas, it is time... Oh, off to a good start. It is time for the last special stage. And get that final emerald. And now I won't have to do any more. Ugh. Man, I'm just screwing up all kinds of things. Nice. Maybe not. I just gotta tough it out a little bit. Ooh. Just gotta stop doing that. I act like I have control over what I recorded several months ago. Like, don't do that. Don't... Anyways, it does look like I will be able to get that last Jolly Rancher. Excellent, excellent stuff if I do say so myself. Sonic got all the Chaos Emeralds. And in most Sonic games you would think that would mean you get the ability for Super Sonic, but no, not in Sonic 3D Blast. In fact, it really doesn't serve much purpose to get the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Well, I take that back. You do get a final boss battle as a result, but I guess this is kind of the first Sonic game to really do that, to make the Chaos Emeralds more of a plot device. Which is something I never cared for in the Sonic series. I always liked the classic games being able to just give you Super Sonic after you get the Emeralds as like a reward, and being able to access Super Sonic at any point after getting the Emeralds. Instead, with games like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, and a lot of the 3D Sonic games, they just take that option away from you for no reason. Which I always found kinda lame. Although, they did finally bring Super Sonic back in Sonic Colors, but I've never been good enough at that game to unlock him. Because it's not about getting all the Chaos Emeralds, you gotta get all them stupid star rings, and that's just a chore. I don't know where half of them are, and I just don't feel bothered enough to try. But that's another game for another time. I do look forward to recording a Sonic Colors playthrough one of these days, because that game's awesome. I love Sonic Colors. That's one of my more favorite 3D Sonics. Like, most of my favorite Sonic games are of the classic 2D style. But I do like the 3D series. I like the 3D Sonic games too, don't get me wrong. Like, if I had to pick a favorite 3D Sonic, I'd probably go with Sonic Heroes and then Sonic Colors. I'm not so sure after that. Maybe Adventure 2? Maybe Adventure 1, actually. Adventure 2 is a little bit weaker. And the thing that takes points off of Adventure 2 for me the most is the stupid treasure hunting levels. I wish Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, to be honest, were just Sonic games. Just let you play as Sonic and let you play as Shadow, and... But, don't get me wrong, I do like the ability to play as other Sonic characters in other Sonic games. Collectors. I like being able to play as the cast and crew throughout different games. It's just not in Sonic Adventure. I feel like it kind of takes away from it a bit. I do like Sonic Heroes, though, how they did that concept where you can switch between characters at any given time. But anyways, that's going to do it for the first act of Diamond Dust. Let's see what kind of points I rack up. I haven't quite reached 500,000 yet. I don't think you get anything special for 1,000,000 points in this game. I don't even know if I make it to 1,000,000 points in this game. But I'm glad that I got the emeralds out of the way. Now I can just focus on completing the rest of this game. But yeah, most of my playthroughs in the past, if I'm just playing through the game on my own time, usually my short attention span kicks in around here, Spring Stadium, and then the rest of the game after Diamond Dust just isn't really that fun for me, because at this point I've pretty much played all there really is to play. I get the gist of what you're saying, Stooley, and so on and so forth, and I'm just like, next. Bringing it back to the Sega Saturn, I do feel like the Saturn is the ultimate short attention span console, because it's chock full of short games and arcade stuff, and it does seem to me like a lot of the games on the Saturn were kind of made for short attention span people like myself. Now don't get me wrong, if it's something that I really care about, I can lock in, I can focus, I can focus like a king sometimes if I really want to. But that's just if I really want to. Or sometimes I just don't have the motivation to do much of anything. Now my land cleanup project, which I'd go on a little bit more in the Fromark Talks series, that was my baby. That was pretty much the last 2 years of my life, was getting that property I bought cleaned up and bringing it back to life, and I pretty much single-handedly did that. I mean, I had a little bit of help here and there, but it was mostly just me over there spending long days and nights chopping away at brush and cleaning up garbage, and I just hope one of these days I can put my own little place on there and it can become the official Fromark HQ. And maybe I can set up like a genuine, bona fide studio of sorts. And maybe upgrade things in this channel and take things a whole nother level. But the fact that I'm able to do Let's Plays at this point, even if a lot of stuff doesn't get famous or take off, I mean, it's a nice, fun hobby that I enjoy sinking time into, and I do appreciate the audience I do have. I appreciate all of you guys out there watching this stuff and supporting the channel. And it felt like that act was a little bit shorter than the first one. However, you will notice that this fourth part is a bit of a behemoth, if I do say so myself, as I take on 2 zones in this part. And now the music has changed to the even number boss battle jingle. And I'm not sure what those things are surrounding Eggman. I'd always kind of assumed those were like little robot fish that kind of look like robot fish. Robo-fish. Fishy, fishy. Fishy, fishy. Give me back my fillet of fish. Give me that fish. Some fish, that PETA commercial. PETA? But no, that commercial where some fish scream or something, some animals scream or something like that. It was kind of goofy. Some commercials. There's plenty of silly, whimsical commercials out there, and then there's some that are that without trying to be. But this is an easier boss battle. I enjoy this boss battle more than the Spring Stadium boss, and especially more than the next boss after this. But that's gonna do it for the old Diamond Dust. The old digital dust. Now it's time for Volcano Valley, and it's this zone. I don't like this zone, and this is where the game really starts to feel like a chore to me. and I don't even like the music here. I don't like the, I don't even really like the layout that much. But I will say this, it does kind of remind me of chili. Kind of makes me want a bowl of, like, chili soup or something along those lines. That's what I'm getting from this. I don't get lava and volcanoes. I get chili. I do like a good bowl of chili. And I know this sounds crazy, but I've never had a chili dog. You'd think, me being a Sonic fan, that I would eventually have eaten a chili dog at least once in my lifetime. And maybe I can do that soon. It's just something I've never really been in a big hurry to do. Plus, I don't really care much for hot dogs. I feel like I've probably made that clear in a previous video before, but yeah, I just don't really like hot dogs that much. At least not on their own. I like corn dogs. I love corn dogs. But I always felt like that was a bit different. Now this is gonna be kind of tricky. How am I gonna make this work? Okay, yeah, cool, there's a ring. I'll need that. I just might need it. And stuff like that is why. Now I'm gonna have to go back and get that, I'll have to go back and get that, flicky, of course. Wherever it went. Okay. Aw, man, this is certainly something. Okay, cool. But yeah, this is where the game does start to feel like, I'm just kind of struggling to get through everything, because anything past Diamond Dust I'm out of practice with for the most part. Although this does bring back memories of me, when I was on my Eagles kick. I remember listening to a lot of the Eagles and playing through Sonic 3D Blast on the long nights back in like 2012 or 13, somewhere in that time frame. So this zone also kind of makes me think of that. Particularly the song Sad Cafe off the Long Run album. I don't know why, but it just, I guess, brings back those memories, though. That's a good song. Which, I still enjoy the Eagles. They definitely got some good stuff out there. It's just too bad they hate YouTube. I never really understood that, but there are several bands that just have this endless bone to pick with YouTube and having music available on YouTube and whining about their precious copyrights and all that nonsense. Not very many bands will sick their army of lawyers on YouTube like that, but typically the Eagles are ones that are like the most uptight about songs being on the internet. I feel like it's the Eagles, the Beatles, and there's probably a few other bands. It seems like things have gotten a little bit better, although I don't use copyrighted music in any of my stuff. Or at least I try not to, because I don't want all my videos to get strikes. Because that kind of stuff sucks. But that is something I definitely had to deal with a lot in my early YouTube days, because I always used to post lyric videos on my old Bagel84568 channel, and most of them were Eagles lyrics. But anyways, it's time for Act 2. I do like the Act 2 mix a little bit more. I often kind of wonder, because a lot of the Sonic games were developed with different sound hardware tools and sound software, and a lot of the Genesis games that were made in North America by not Sonic Team, they seem to lean heavily on that sweet, sexy Gems sound driver that I enjoy so much. But it kind of makes me wonder what a lot of the Sonic soundtracks would sound like run through the Gems. I try to keep this fire shield as long as I can. Hopefully it makes it through the act. I certainly don't recall if it does. And then I think there's a tube or a tunnel or something around here. There it is. There it is. There's another fire shield. It looks like that's just kind of a dead end. So I'll make my way back uphill and jump on this spin panel, or whatever it's supposed to be. It's like a spinny panel of sorts. Alright, well, that's fine and good. It looks like I still need one more bird. Where is that last bird? My bird! My $200. It can sing like no other bird you have ever heard before. Hey, any chance to make a Jerry Reed reference, I guess. Well, son, what a heck of a thing. Man, get rich making that bird sing. Alright, let's keep rolling along here, though. Why am I going back in the dead end? There's obviously nothing there. I mean, if I do need that fire shield, at least I know where it is. Alright, now I can make my way back up here. And yes, you can actually get smashed and killed by those panels, by the way. Don't stand underneath them when they're coming back down. It will not end well. But it does look like I just need to rescue one more batch of flickies for Chili Con Carne Zone here. Or whatever, Volcano Valley. It's just all it makes me think of is Chili and the Eagles. What a combo. Alright, though. There should be a couple more around here somewhere that need rescued. And there's one. That strange, spiky ladybug-looking thing. It's no Motobug, though. Maybe a distant relative of the Motobug, perhaps? Aw, yeah. Extra life. I'll definitely need that. Oh yeah, there's that flicky. I forgot about those ones. There's another, like, pinkish, orangish flicky that you rescue. Don't really know much about it. And I heard the continue jingle, which means I've got 10 of those Sonic heads. Now, I won't have to use any continues, which is almost kind of a shame because I always like the continue music from this game, as it's borrowed from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And it's one of my favorite songs in the entire Genesis repertoire, or library, or whatever. But anyway, let's go ahead and battle this spicy chili boss, or whatever. This is probably my least favorite boss in the entire game, as it's one of the hardest ones to deal with. And you could see, I mentioned extra lives a little bit ago, that I've already burned through all of those off screen. And it just shows you how good I am at this boss fight. But I eventually came into my groove and I took him down, as you see. Which actually went down a lot quicker than I thought it was going to. But I will see you in part 5, folks.